Staying with us here on KUTV Focus on Health. If you're joining us right now, we've been talking about the ambulance, and we are with Dr. Barry Lowano, who's just been giving us a deep perspective on what it does and the centrality of all these to a health facility. Thank you very much, Dr. for staying with us. So before the break, we talked a little bit about a couple of things, but right now we want to really know, for somebody who is back at home, how, like, the cost, because the cost really depends, matters in each and everything. So somebody may be asking, what is the cost of getting an ambulance to come and take me from my place to the facility?
Okay, the ambulance in the Bliss ambulance, it's affordable, but it all depends on the localization of the person. So depending on where you are, you can be gotten, but the prices differ. But it's affordable.
Very affordable.
Yes.
I know it's a marketing strategy. You don't want to mention the prices, but of course, when we also push in a little bit about it, but somebody may also be asking that when all this is said and done, then they also want to know about how effective the services that they get from these are.
Just to be assured, you get the best service because you have the best team. The paramedics that are well equipped and are well formed, so they're capable of taking care of assessing your situation. So don't be worried. You just make the call and you will be assisted in time.
Making the call. Do you have an emergency line for directly to go in case somebody wants to have the ambulance?
In case you want any ambulance in Kenya, you can use the 999 call to get the ambulance, but for the Bliss ambulance, you can call 0730-704-000 at any time and you'll be sorted out.
Would you just come up again so that, go very slowly so that somebody who is back at home may be noting it somewhere?
0730-704-000. Yeah.
Okay. And when all this said is done, it's also something about also the price, and also we've talked about the price. We've talked about the cost. Do we have some organizations that don't charge their ambulance or their excavation?
There are some cases...
Evacuation rather, not excavation, sorry.
There are some cases where we offer like by faith, where we can offer the ambulance charges free of charge in case of the desperate situation. But the most important thing is to give you the best medication that you want, to give you the best treatment, and we focus mostly in saving lives first.
Ambulance, is it only about the car, or do we have also air ambulance, or we have the flying doctors?
Yes.
How different are these?
Depending on the location, actually, before, let's say your patient is found where we cannot have access to by roads, so that one, a flying doctor will be, the air ambulance will be better in that situation. But if it's somewhere that is locally where we can easily access, so the roads are well made, we can use the normal vehicles to access. Yeah. Of course, the air ambulance also, the cost is higher than the normal, the back of the cars is higher.
Any final words as we come to the end of this?
Just to every Kenyan, if you want to have access to the ambulance, you can always contact the best thing. In every facility, the main objective is to save life and to give the best medication to each and every person. So don't be afraid to make the call in case you are in danger. At least the first few minutes are very important. They are crucial in life saving. So let's make good use of it and always call the ambulance in any need. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Barry Lowano, for having this conversation with us. But right now I'm going to talk to also someone who is very important and very central to all this, the driver of the ambulance. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
First aid for asthma attack. What to look for in asthma attacks. If you think someone is having an asthma attack, these are the 5 key things to look for. 1. Difficulty breathing or speaking. 2. Wheezing. 3. Coughing. 5. Distress. And 5. Gray-blue tingle to the lips, earlobes and nail beds, also known as cyanosis. What you need to do during asthma attacks. First, reassure them and ask them to breathe slowly and deeply, which will help them control their breathing. Then, help them use their reliever inhaler straight away. This should relieve the attack. Next, sit them down in a comfortable position. If it doesn't get better within a few minutes, it may be a severe attack. Get them to take 1 or 2 puffs of their inhaler every 2 minutes until they've had 10 puffs. If the attack is severe and they are getting worse or becoming exhausted, or if this is their first attack, then call 999 or 112 for an ambulance. Help them to keep using their inhaler if they need to. Keep checking their breathing, pulse, and level of response. If they lose responsiveness at any point, open their airway, check their breathing, and prepare to treat someone who's become unresponsive.
Thank you for staying with us. Right now we're going to talk to Mr. Wangi, who is an ambulance driver, to just give us a little bit perspective on what the challenges that he's had when driving an ambulance. Asante sana mkubwa kwa kuungana na sisi hii leo.
Yeah.
Sasa swali langu la kwanza ni kuwa wakati changamoto zipi unazopata wakati unapoendesha ambulance?
Katika kuendesha ambulance,
Yes.
ile changamoto mtu anakutana nazo sana sana ni kwa barabara. When you are on your way and kuna jam and you put the siren on, I first congratulate those, most of the people cooperate.
Yes.
But there are those few who don't cooperate. Even if you put the siren louder and louder, they just keep on still on the road. They don't give way. But most of the people, they cooperate. But those few, they don't cooperate. That's one thing. Then when we come to the issue of when we are having an ambulance, when you come to the destination, you are taking the patient, there is another issue. You might take some of those facilities, you might take longer, but some of those are quick. Those are some of the challenges that we face.
Okay. Now, and then also some other thing that may come out is that driving an ambulance, how different is it from driving any other normal car? And you coming into this particular work that you're doing right now, is it any different?
Yeah, there is a big difference.
Do you have to be an emergency driver, or do you have to have a certain training to be able to drive an ambulance?
Yeah, it's recommended you have to go some training because now you are handling patients.
Okay.
It's not no other normal passengers. Yeah, so you are speeding, you are meeting, you have to have instant brakes sometimes.
Okay.
You come across bumps, and maybe you are having the kind of patients you have on board needs intensive care.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have to be careful, and you have to have undergo some training. So have to take care of those patients you are on the board.
On board.
Yeah.
So right now, as we come to the end of this, what advice would you give to people out there who maybe do not know much about the ambulance services in Kenya right now?
Yeah. Ambulance services in Kenya, maybe people might fear it using the ambulance, but it's one of the best services to use when you have an emergency. People might also fear the price of ambulances, not at charge costly. Maybe sometimes we do save people when it might be critical. You don't know what most time charges. We might also give some free services during most of the critical need. Yeah.
Any final words maybe to people out there who are drivers like you and do not give wage when you really need it?
Yeah, I would urge those drivers out there, when they hear the siren of an ambulance, they should try as much as possible to give way, because sometimes when they hear silent, it's not a normal case.
Okay.
You cannot put on silent when you do not have a patient on board.
Yes.
So I would recommend them, when they hear the silent, to try as much as possible to give. If there is any way they can give way, they as much as possible they try to give way.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mwangi, for having us for this discussion.
Yeah.
All the best in your work.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So that's all we had for you on this interesting episode of Focus on Health. Remember that it may be you on board of this ambulance, and when the siren comes, then you should give way. That's all we had for you here on Focus on Health. Till next time, I've been your host, Omunya.